Hey everybody, I'm gonna try and do this life update video again. This will be the third time because my camera keeps messing up. So anyway, before I start, I just want to say if, like, I guess a trigger warning. If you are triggered by mental health talk such as depression, or eating disorder, those are the main things. Please exit the video. I guess, like up in here in the corner, because I don't want anyone, to be triggered about or by something I might say. So anyway, with that being said, I guess, the main portion I guess I want to update is, earlier this year I decided to seek a higher level of care for an issue that I've dealt with for, I guess, 16 plus years now. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out how to really say this, because it's not exactly an easy topic for me to talk about always. But I was diagnosed with OSFED, which was previously in the DSM, which is the psychologist, psychiatrist diagnostic manual. So like if you're diagnosed with schizophrenia or something like that, they look in that book for the criteria to see if you meet that, or you know what I mean, bipolar, whatever. So eating disorders, depression, all that's in there as well. Now, OSFED, like I said, it was previously labeled EDNOS, which stands for eating disorder not otherwise specified. And I can't remember exactly what OSFED stands for. It's something like feeding disorder or something, but same thing. So basically, OSFED, or EDNOS, is kind of a catch-all term for those of us that don't meet the diagnostic criteria for an eating disorder. So, like basically, okay, so like anorexics, you need to be under a certain percentage of your ideal body weight. I think it's 25%, if I remember right. And like bulimics, you need to purge like on like a certain amount, per week, per month, etc. And like for binge eating disorder, you need to consume like a larger quantity of food in a sitting as opposed to what a normal person would eat, like fairly frequently, I believe. So those of us with OSFED or EDNOS, whichever term you want to use, don't necessarily always meet that criteria. However, we still have an eating disorder. Now, some people might have disordered eating, which that's definitely different. That might be because it's all about how your mind thinks about like food and everything. So, like for example, someone with disordered eating might skip like 3 meals a week, but they don't think, oh, I need to be skinny, or oh, I'm so fat, like, even though they're not, like maybe. Whereas like someone with anorexia might skip like 6 meals and think they're like the size of a, Oompa Loompa, when they're really not. Like it's the distorted perception, like the level of it. So, but like I said, those of us with OSFED don't always meet that a specific criteria, but we still have like the thoughts that are, I guess, more self-destructive, if you will. Like, okay, for me, what I mainly do is binge and purge, but I don't do it frequent enough that I could be considered bulimic, because I kind of cycle. So like I'll go through periods where I don't eat very much, but I don't, get rid of it. Then I'll go through periods where that's all I do is the binge and purge. And then I also go through periods where I just overeat. And then there's like a few times where it's like quote normal eating, like I could go out to a restaurant and be fine with it. But I guess the difference is, like, for example, if I eat, like a lot of times if I go out to a restaurant, say Golden Corral, like with, my mom or something, and we're eating, and, while I'm eating, I might be okay for like a minute, but then my brain starts thinking, like, oh, okay, like, how many calories I took in, like, I want to get rid of it, etc., etc., or like, every time I see myself, like, I feel like I'm a lot larger than I am, etc., which, so, I mean, that all plays into it. So, and there's other, types of things that can affect your eating disorder. Like there's body dysmorphic disorder, which I don't know exactly if I have that or not. But anyway, so yeah, that was, I guess, kind of like a little lesson on eating disorder types. I mean, there's several others, like orthorexia, etc. But anyways, so my diagnosis is OSFED, and I went to see a counselor, but she wanted me to go to IOP, which is intensive outpatient therapy, and it was like an hour away from where I live. Up in Pittsburgh is where it was, at Cope, and it's a good program, but yeah, I guess, I don't know. And then I wasn't able to return to the same therapist because she's also an hour away from where I live. Like she was in Washington, PA. So, I guess right now I'm struggling because, well, I mean, number one, I knew I probably would because I've dealt with this issue for so long that, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be like, leave IOP and be able to be like, 100% free of eating disorder thoughts. But my outpatient referral didn't work out. The first place I called, I never really got an answer back. The second place, I did go for my first, I guess, assessment, I think is the word. But it kind of pissed me off because this place says they specialize in eating disorders, yet out of their 3 offices in the area, they only have 1 clinician that deals with eating disorders, and they're not taking any new patients. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Like, if you say you're going to treat an issue, maybe have more than 1 clinician that can help people. I mean, because eating disorders are fairly common. So, and I know in my area, there's probably several people that have some type of eating disorder. So, I guess my qualm is, they shouldn't say they specialize in it. And they only have 1 specialist. Because, I mean, you can't expect 1 person to say, oh, I'm going to take 300 people with eating disorders and help all of them. I mean, well, that's just not logical. So anyway, I guess right now I'm just searching for a new therapist because at this point, not for insurance reasons, I don't think really, but personal reasons, I can't go back to like a higher level of care because I have 2 jobs now, and also school is going to be starting again on Monday, Monday. And I really need to do well in school this time because last time I was working like kind of earlier shifts on certain days, and then I would travel that hour to Pittsburgh to do IOP, and then it was another hour back. So I mean, by the time I got home, I was so tired. So basically, I didn't do well in 2 classes, so I'm retaking them. And those are the classes that start on Monday. So I really need to do well on them. And since I just started a new job, it's at a car dealership doing internet sales. So I'm doing that and Walmart. But I don't feel like, going to my new boss and saying, hey, oh, by the way, I need to do intensive outpatient treatment for an eating disorder. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm trying to find a counselor in my area before I get too bad. Because like I said, I'm probably 2/3, 3/4 into like a full relapse, but I'm just trying to remember all the tools I learned in IOP and talking to some of my friends and everything. And some of them were in treatment up there with me, and I know some of them are having a hard time too, but yeah, I'm just trying to get support and everything for my friends and family, so I don't have to go down that road again. Because, I mean, I know eventually I'll get into a place where have a better relationship with food. It'll just take a little bit of time. So, but I guess it's kind of another thing I wanted to say for anyone, because like my depression and stuff I take medication for it now, so it's basically managed, for the most part, fairly well. So that's a good thing. Sorry, I'm moving around. I dropped something. I dropped my hair tie. But anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna end this here in a second. But I just wanted to say to anyone that's having any mental health issues, whether it's depression and suicidal thoughts, or struggling with like some type of eating disorder, whether it's bulimia, anorexia, OSFED/EDNOS, whichever you want to call it, orthorexia, binge eating disorder, laxative abuse, or even just disordered eating. Everyone deserves a decent quality of life. So don't think that you have to go it alone. Because I'm, one of those type of people that thought, I need to keep the secret. I don't want anyone to know. But even though you can't necessarily see on the outside any damages, I know that it has done damage to my body, like physical. Like I have some physical issues going on right now that, might be related to my eating disorder. So that's why I just encourage anyone that has any kind of mental health issue going on to please talk to someone, whether it's a friend, your parent, a teacher, coworker, or just calling a hotline. It doesn't matter as long as you try and get yourself help. And the thing with recovery, the cliche is, one day at a time, but it's really true. I mean, even though, like I said, I'm kind of in a relapse, almost a full relapse, I don't give up hope, because I guess my thought is I've had this problem for so long that, it's just going to take time. It's kind of like, when you're trying to lose weight healthfully, if you've been overweight almost your whole life, like say 100 pounds overweight, you're not going to lose 100 pounds in a week. Like it might take like 6 months to a year, you know. But anyways, I hope everyone is well. If you need someone to talk to, you can message me on here, and I'll get back to you. And I guess that's it. Peace out.